Hi, I'm David, and in this screencast I will walk you through the installation of iDempiere microservices, all-in-one microservice for a test drive. I have prepared a fresh Ubuntu 18.04 installation in Vagrant here, so we will have a fresh computer we will start with. It is this it is the image that you can get from the background. So I will go through all the steps that are required. Okay, so let's start. SSH to the machine. Right, we are there. So let's go through the wiki pages we have prepared. You have to have JDK 8 installed. We are still on the version 8, and you of course need the PostgreSQL database with iDempiere 6.2. So there is no Java on the fresh machine, so I will install OpenJDK first. We don't need IDEA yet, so let me close this. Okay, JDK installed. It's version 1.8, which is correct. Then we need to install Docker. The CE version is fine. So there's no older version. Just install it. I want to mention one thing: the Docker is not needed actually for the installation or running of the application, but for the build we have to have the PostgreSQL database with iDempiere. So what's the easiest way is to run the database in a Docker image, and during build connect to this fresh installation. Of course later on you can connect to any PostgreSQL database with iDempiere that you have. So let's wait for the installation. So we have Docker now installed. There's still one more step that's necessary to manage Docker as a non-root user. So follow these steps here. Be sure that you can use the Docker as a standard user. Right, so it's working for the standard user, that's fine. Now let's use this image that we prepared build it from the source code here, so I need to clone this repository. Let's create okay, let's clone it here. It's cloned, so let's we need to check out the 60.2. And now we simply follow the steps to build the image and run it. So let's build the image first. It takes some time, so we're going to pause the video. If you do not want to build it on your computer, you can simply download the images that are uploaded to SourceForge. But I wanted to go through the steps when you build everything locally. Of course, the pulling of the images is not slow, but then it needs to go through all the SQL files, that all the migration steps, so it will take a few minutes. Okay, so the actually building the image is fast because I was wrong. It's not running the migrations that are run when you actually start the image. So I will save it to Verbal. This is very fast, and then we can reuse that, and then I will load it. Okay, so let's load it. So this is loaded, and now I will have to start it. There are different ways how to start it. I mean, depending on where we want to store the data. We don't care that much for that now, so we have this script in tools that will simply do everything for us. This is this one. The other one here will remove the volumes when you need to run tests, for example. So I will start it. This will take some time. Right, so it's starting, and it will take some time to actually populate the database. So let's wait for it. It takes around 2 minutes. Okay, so it's up and running. And how I check is I run docker ps and then run docker logs to see everything there. So now let's load all the prerequisites, so we can actually try to run the microservice. We have this standalone all-in-one microservice. That's the one that's have all the invoicing, CRM, and etc. inside. Also, please notice that the database is running on port 5433 in order not to collide with another installation of the PostgreSQL if you have one. So now I will take this one microservice. We have we have a lot of modules in the iDempiere micro, but those modules are the functional modules that contain the real code with MB partner and so on. And in order to run it, you have to have one project or more projects that are actually opening a port, running a server, and waiting for the incoming requests. So this is one of the applications. So let's clone it. It's very small actually because it's using all the released modules. So let's have a look. I will show you the POM. So you see that actually it's using these iDempiere micro order invoicing and so on. So the code itself is very small and it's really just the server. In order to build it, we have to have Maven. It's somewhere in the development environment. So we have to have Maven. We need to install Maven. But I don't know. I will not go through this installation. I will simply install Maven using apt. Any recent version of Maven should work. So that's it. Okay, and now back to here, and we will build it against version 28. This is the latest released version. So it's downloading all the dependencies, including the iDempiere micro. It's building the code of the server and it's running the tests and the integration tests. So that's why we need the database to be up and running, because the integration tests, both the tests and the integration tests, need them. The standard tests are the tests that test the functionality of a code like a business partner and invoice and so on, and the integration tests are actually running the server and are running GraphQL queries against it, so we know that the server will boot and will respond and so on to the requests. This server is built using the OpenLiberty libraries, which is a Java EE implementation. So it is downloading the latest version. It's 132 megabytes, so it will also take a few seconds. So the other dependencies are much smaller, of course. But they still need to be downloaded. We try to build the new code in Kotlin. It's JVM compatible language, functional, try to solve some issues of Java. So that's also why I recommend using IntelliJ IDEA to do the source code changes. Now that compilation is is running, and we don't have enough memory, so let me change the memory and run again. Okay, so I gave the virtual machine more memory, so it should now, it's now running the tests. So running the integration tests, or building the server, starting the server, running the integration tests. And the build succeeded, so we now have the resulting jar ready to be run. So if we use the OpenLiberty, all we have to do is to use this command, use the Maven command to run the server. If you want to run the microservice alone, then you have to with Java -jar, then you need to do some preparation. You have to prepare the configuration. Here the configuration is taken from the correct folder, and it's started. So background, so it started, and now we can run some queries against that. So let's, for example, get the JWT token for the garden user. Okay, I overlooked, I didn't install JQ. So I have to do this. Required for parsing the returned JSON. So we have the token now, and we can do, for example, get a list of the users. This is a little bit not very well readable, but you see here that we have the two users, the garden user and the garden admin. So the request was authenticated using this token here, and we got the users from the current client. Of course, there are much more GraphQL queries that you can run. You can have a look here in this in the server source code here in a source folder, here in a resolver folder where are all the query resolvers, and also the mutation resolvers like create category, create contact, activity, business partner, and so on. This needs to be, of course, extended. There are not all the entities that you can create, but that's what we are working on now. If you want to have a look at the actual code of the invoice and so on, then I suggest you check the other projects that we have here, like the product core. Those are just the libraries, meaning this is not runnable. This is just the part of the iDempiere core package from the iDempiere. So here you have the asset or product, for example. So these all are actually this is all separated. So the product core is buildable by itself, and then the library is used in the big all-in-one microservice. If you want to have a look at the size, then in the target you will find out that the standalone jar is 50 megabytes. So I would say it's really small, and this jar is all you need to run the iDempiere standalone microservice. If you want to run it without running it through Maven target, just prepare the configuration, and then you simply start it using Java -jar. Okay, so that was it. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you later.